The Google Pixel 9 series is official in Malaysia, and I've got my hands on the Pixel 9 Pro XL for a week. Of so many Pixel phones I've owned in the past few years, this is the most interesting Pixel Google has ever made. It has a very different take on its hardware design compared to previous Pixels, and yeah, almost everyone I met told me that it feels like an iPhone. But most importantly, Google is mostly boasting about the AI stuff this phone can do. So, is it a phone with gimmicks, and can it stand tall in a flagship phone competition, especially right here in Malaysia? Let's talk about it. First, let's talk about hardware improvements. I love that the Pixel 9 Pro XL has a really nice aesthetic despite looking very similar to the iPhone 14 Pro's design language. The corners of the frame are very smoothly rounded, which is very unlike the iPhone. The frosted glass back resists fingerprints well, but I'm really glad that it uses a flat screen like the S24 Ultra. Despite being a big phone, the Pixel 9 Pro XL has a reasonable 221-gram weight, and it actually feels lighter than the iPhone 14 Pro that has a smaller screen. Although I still prefer the previous camera bump design that is on the Pixel 8 Pro, the new pill-shaped camera bump is still rather unique in my opinion. And, at least if you want to use the phone without a case, it stays pretty flat on the table when you use it. The Pixel 9 Pro XL uses a 6.8-inch Super Extra display that is essentially an LTPO panel that refreshes adaptively at 120Hz. It has improved outdoor brightness than before and very nice colors as you would expect from a flagship device. The under-display fingerprint reader is now an ultrasonic one that works better than before. The stereo loudspeakers are one of the best sounding ones I have heard, and yeah, the Pixel 9 Pro XL is a solid Netflix device. Powering the Pixel 9 Pro XL is the Tensor G4 chip paired with 16GB of RAM. The chip is built on the same process as its predecessor with slightly improved performance and efficiency. It also has a vapor chamber to tame thermals when you're doing processor-intensive tasks. One thing I do really hate is the base storage. Having 128GB on a 5,000 ringgit device is just no longer sufficient even if you are subscribed to Google's cloud storage. But thankfully, if you have pre-ordered your Pixel 9, you'll get a free double storage upgrade without paying more. Performance on the Pixel 9 Pro XL is really good, and it doesn't feel as toasty as the previous Pixel phones when I'm doing games and taking a lot of photos with it. Though, in certain games, you could find some slight stutters as the Tensor G4 really isn't the most powerful chip for graphics. However, most games should work just fine, and according to the 3D Mark Steel Nomad benchmark, the graphics performance is on par with the Snapdragon 8S Gen 3. Now, let's talk about the software tricks that Google has been boasting on stage. Starting with Pixel Screenshots, which I think among all is the most useful tool that Google has ever introduced. This app essentially stores every screenshot you have taken on the phone, and you can save them into various collections. What's most impressive is that it captures text and tells you which app you grabbed the screenshot. For instance, I've been doing screen captures on the cheapest diapers on different platforms. I can have Gemini show me which is the cheapest diaper based on my recent screenshots. Best of all, it works on device, and this means you can safely screen capture things like bank transaction slips without worrying about it uploaded to the cloud. Next, Pixel Studio is a generative image tool that lets you generate an image by using text. This is a thing that some smartphones are already doing, but what's really impressive is the speed it takes to generate compared to other Stable Diffusion models, as it is a combination of on-device and cloud processing. Though it sometimes doesn't really generate the photos, but I'll give it a chance since it's still in its preview stage. Finally, I'm stoked about how Gemini Live can help me plan things ahead. It is free for the first year on Pixel 9 Pro devices and will cost 98 ringgit per year thereafter, along with 2TB of Google Drive storage. And I dare say, it is just as good as ChatGPT 4o. Let me do a quick demo to show you guys. Hey, I'm spending a 3-day trip to Penang on this Friday. Can you tell me some places that I need to visit?
Since you're into history and culture, Georgetown should definitely be your focus. There's a ton of beautifully preserved buildings, from temples and churches to old shops.
Okay, I want to go to cafes on the first day, and second day I want to visit some historical places, and finally I want to end my trip with a shopping trip.
Sounds like a solid plan. Penang has a lot to offer, so let's dive into some more specifics. First up, cafes. Would you prefer air-conditioned spots or more outdoor seating?
Air conditioned.
Got it. Penang has some really cool cafes. Are you looking for something with a specific vibe, like minimalist or artsy?
Artsy.
If you like artsy cafes, then you might like the Mugshot Cafe. It's located in a pre-war shop house, so it has that old school charm, but with a modern twist. They have a great selection of bagels and coffee, and the walls are covered in local artwork. Another option is China House. It's more of a lifestyle
Alright, so
space than just a
put these
cafe.
places
They have an
into a
art
list
gallery,
for
a
me.
restaurant, and a courtyard. It's a great... Alright, here's a list of those cafes I mentioned. First up, there's the Mugshot Cafe. It's in a pre-war shop house, so it has that old school charm.
Let's talk cameras. The Pixel 9 Pro XL has the same camera setup as the Pixel 8 Pro. A 50 megapixel wide with OIS, a 48 megapixel 5x telephoto camera with OIS, and an improved 48 megapixel ultra-wide camera with a f1.7 aperture. While the front camera gets a huge resolution bump from 10.5 megapixels to 42 megapixels. This is a really big upgrade and possibly one of the best camera setups you can get on a flagship Android phone. Photos taken on the Pixel 9 Pro XL is decent with accurate colors and superb dynamic range, which you definitely can't go wrong if you want to depend on it for a road trip. However, what I'm most impressed is the new night sight feature on panoramas and videos, which helps to take better low-light shots with very little effort. The low-light boosted videos will need to be uploaded to the cloud for processing and can take quite a while. There are some other camera tricks such as Add Me that lets you take a group photo on your own without asking for a stranger's help. It takes a little bit of practice to get it work, but you get the hang of it. And the Reimagine feature can totally change things around you based on text prompts. There are just too many features on the camera that I'll be doing a separate video, so make sure you get subscribed for that. The Pixel 9 Pro XL's battery life is reasonable. I could get more than a day of usage with a 4-hour screen on time, and it charges reasonably fast with 37-watt wired charging. It also has fast wireless charging at 23 watts, but that will require the official Pixel stand. Overall, I'm really happy with what the Pixel 9 Pro XL is capable of, and by all means, I think it is the most interesting flagship phone that I have ever reviewed for this year. At least, some of the software tricks that Google built into this phone is something that I would use in my daily life. And unlike many other Android phones, Google can occasionally introduce more useful features in Pixel drops over time, and not to mention 7 years of OS upgrades. And if you take all of that into account, its starting retail price of 51.99 ringgit for the Pixel 9 Pro probably makes sense. But yeah, just to get the 128GB model. And I'm sure if you wait out long enough, there's probably going to be great offers going on if you badly want to own the Pixel 9 Pro in Malaysia. Alright, so that's all for my Pixel 9 Pro XL review. Let me know what are your thoughts in the comments down below. Will you be buying one based on its retail price right here? Let me know all about it in the comments down below. And for now, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one.